Hey, what is up guys? David Zhao here, and today, the Sony A7S III came in, and I am so excited to unbox it, to look at everything, to set it up, and get it ready for shooting. Okay, let's start the unboxing, I guess. Sorry for this poor excuse of a product camera. I don't have a top-down setup yet. Still need to do that, but for now, you'll have to live with this. All right, we got, oh, let me just go ahead and pull it out. So first up, looks like we got a cable clamp for your HDMI and your USB to plug into the side of the camera. That's neat to be included. Of course, a USB-A to USB-C cable. A lot of manuals. These will be forgotten about. All right, next up, camera strap. Probably won't use this. Probably gonna still use my Peak Design one, but that's pretty neat. Of course, we have a battery charger. What else do we have in here? Hold up. I'm gonna look at the camera last. Is there anything else in this box? A battery. I'm gonna set this down for now. Okay, so of course we have the cable for the battery charger itself and a new Sony Z series battery right here. And for the piece de resistance, the Sony A7S. I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm so excited for this camera. Like, obviously it's an insane camera. It's got all the feelings of opening up a Christmas present all the way to just knowing the tech in here. It's everything I've wanted for like years in a camera, and now it's here. Just take a moment to appreciate that. It's just, here, I'll put it up to this camera. Take a moment to appreciate that camera body. Oh my goodness. Like, this might seem a bit extra for me to freak out about this camera body, but it does feel substantially different from the A7 III. Honestly, the grip is completely designed differently. I personally have small hands, so the A7 III's grip to a lot of people was small, but for me it was just the perfect size for my hand. So this grip is actually kind of too big for me, because you can tell because my fingers are barely grabbing over the edge. While my thumb is here, my fingers aren't as comfortably gripped on the camera, but I think I like this bigger design. I mean, they had to house the new sensor and everything, so I mean, I'm happy with everything they did. So let's go ahead and take a look through. I'm not even gonna touch the screen yet. I need a screen protector on this thing. Does this use the same size screen as the A7 III? Hold on. So it looks like the screen on this is maybe like a millimeter shorter in terms of width compared to the A7 III. So even if I had a leftover screen protector from the A7 III, I won't be able to use it on this. So first thing I would do if I were you to protect your $3,500 investment, link down below, go get a screen protector. It's like $8, and if you ever accidentally scratch it, you'll scratch that instead of your LCD screen. Do it. Seriously, just do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the features on here. We have a nice record button at the top. This is very similar to the A6600. Oh wait, how is it? Okay, yeah. It's a down and up feature to get to your card slots now. So these dual card slots are dual card slots. So not only is there two card slots, you know, so you can either write simultaneously or use it as an overflow, it also is a dual purpose card slot each. They both accept both SD cards and CF Express Type A cards. CF Express Type A is the newer card that is made by Sony that reads and writes faster, but it's obviously more expensive because it's brand new. But fortunately, you don't need the CF Express Type A cards to access most of the features. The only feature that is locked behind that CF Express Type A is a very specific shooting mode where you get to shoot 4K 120p, but also in the quick and slow motion mode, the S&Q mode. So I don't think you need it. I think you can get away with using this camera to its max potential with just an SD card. But hey, if you have the money to buy a CF Express Type A, might as well. Okay, so that's enough of the storage. Let's look at the back of the camera. So not much has changed. A little bit has changed. So like the groovings and the actual like mold of the camera has changed a little bit, but the placement's all the same. You still have your trash button down here, C4, you have your playback, you have your dial, which feels like a better dial, actually. This dial is a much nicer dial. I like that. You have your FN button, you have your little joystick, the focus nipple, some call it, which lets you, you know, back camera focus. Or you can use this to switch your focus point. Always very useful for photography and even in videography for subject tracking. Then you have your exposure lock, you have your autofocus on-off switch, you have your C1, C2, and menu button. So you have all these, right, as I'm talking through it. That's really nice. The EVF, I'm very excited to look through the EVF because it's supposed to be double the resolution of the A7 III's EVF, and that EVF was really good. Some people equate it to looking through like a viewfinder, like a real physical viewfinder. I'm excited to see that. In terms of build, up at the top, our knobs are a little beefier than in previous generations from what I can tell. There is a lock to turn, which I like. That's always useful. You can't accidentally switch it. Same with the exposure. This one's actually much more useful in my opinion because I always knock this thing around. I don't use it much, but I always knock it around. So it's nice that you can just kind of lock it. Then you have your rear control dial. It's nice and extruded now as opposed to being hidden and recessed into the camera body. I mean, it's different. I like it. It looks good. And then of course your front control wheel is very similar to the old one. Just has a little bit more of a tactile, clicky feel to it than before. In the past, it felt a little bit rubbery. So there's that. And now here we go with the new side panel designs. This is something I'm really interested in. So let's take a look at all these ports. Oh yeah, here's a new port design. Look at this, first of all. They lock open and then they kind of flick close and then click in. This is so much better than the A7 III's little dangly doors, which kind of hang. They're super annoying. This is great, this is great. So starting at the top, we have the microphone jack. That's a great placement for the microphone jack. It's out of the way, it's at the top. And, oh, I didn't even talk about it. Hold on, let's go back. LCD screen. Come on. This is something I feel like Sony could have done ages ago and they just held on to it and they're finally like, all right, we'll give it to you. And you know what? I can't even be mad. I like it so much. I love that, one, you can protect the LCD screen when putting it in your bag. That's a nice feature. Being able to obviously view it from the back, from a normal position, from a rotated position in case you're shooting from high or shooting from low. And then also, of course, the big thing, flipping it so you can see yourself. Now, of course, people are out here saying, you know, like, that's like a vlogger feature, you know, but what vlogger is buying a $3,500 camera? Well, it doesn't have to just be a vlogger feature. Right now, what I'm shooting, I kind of need to see myself. Normally, I would have an external monitor, but thankfully on the A6600, you have the flip up screen, which I love the flip up screen, but it doesn't work well with accessories like microphones, like flashes, like all these things get in the way. So having it on the side, that is so nice. And you know, this isn't anything new. People knew this back with the 70D, right? When people were back vlogging with a Canon 70D, like the side flip out screen. This was a necessity. It doesn't take that much engineering to get it to happen. And I'm just glad that Sony finally added it to their full frame bodies. So ports, as we were saying, the microphone port is well placed at the top. So that way when you open the screen, right, your rotation of the screen doesn't get interfered by the microphone jack. Let's go ahead and look at the next port. We have headphone jack, nice and needed. Then we have USB-C and a USB micro for, you know, USB micro still exists on here. If people are wondering why, it's because a lot of accessories like gimbals and other external controllers utilize this so they can deliver information to the camera. So you can control things like your camera settings or your shutter from an external device. Yes, they could have just done with a USB-C, but that would have been a very Apple move. It would have been forcing the accessories industry to completely update their products, and that would have left the A7S III for an awkward amount of time in the dark in terms of coming to a lot of accessory support. So I'm glad that they kept the USB micro in here for accessory support, but also, you know, they added the USB Type-C for future-proofing the camera. And of course for power delivery. With USB Type-C, you can get power delivery, which means you could indefinitely run this camera off of a power bank. That's very nice. All right, so moving forward, we have, ooh, hold on. Is this, if you don't realize why I'm stunned right now, then you haven't seen my channel long enough. These clips for your camera strap are now, I'm guessing the actual clip itself is larger in diameter, or the hole for the clip is smaller in diameter. Regardless what it is, the result is these things are very stiff now, as you can tell. They don't just dangle down, they're very stiff, which means you don't hear the clickety, hold on. Exhibit A, Exhibit B. Need I say more? Sorry, I got really distracted by that. These clips, man, they've been so annoying since day one, and I swear to God, it's only Sony cameras that have such annoying clips, and problems fixed. These are the little things that I don't know if anybody else is talking about, but I'm stoked about that. That's just nice. That just should be a thing, you know? So next door, this is a full HDMI out. That is a welcome upgrade, a full HDMI out. Here's why. This takes a full HDMI, right? These micro HDMI cords right here are garbage. Like, they're hot garbage. They break so easily. I've probably gone through like 15 of them. It was probably from back in the day when I used an external monitor on a gimbal. Every single time I bumped that cable, I swear to God it would break. And I remember I packed extra cables with me in my backpack because I just expected it to break mid-shoot during a wedding. Nightmare. Full HDMI though, that's not a problem. Sweet, that's exciting news to me. And then there's a bottom thing right here, but it's capped off with a screw, so I'm gonna guess I'm not supposed to open this. One of these days I'll figure it out, or maybe somebody else on YouTube will open this up. I don't care to, and I also don't want to ruin the water resistant rating on this camera. God, this is, can you tell I'm like very excited about this camera? Like, oh my goodness. Whew, quick aside, I was at work all day today, and like I was getting my work done, but the whole day I was just like, where is that FedEx guy with my package? Because I really want my camera. You know, there's a lot of decisions in life where you're like, was that worth the money, right? And you go back and you're like pros and cons, like, yeah, it's good here, but like I could have done this with the money. But honestly, this is $3,500 I am very happy to spend. Like, Sony could take all my money. I've been, years. This is everything I wanted in a video camera. This is the perfect video camera. That is gonna be the title for when I do my full review of this. Coming soon. I'm gonna get a lot of footage over this next few weekends, over my honeymoon. I will have a full review out for you guys about the A7S III, probably end of October. Hold me to that. I'm really excited. Dude,